Alright, gonna zip the oil pump pickup tube off. We got two 8mm up front. These are the same length. A 10mm only up back here. That's a very short 10mm. Looks like a very solid O-ring connection still, so that's good. I'll get the oil pump off. This is a very typical Ford modular engine oil pump. Driven by the two flats on the crankshaft, spins it around. I don't think these are changed very much. Even the Coyote still uses ones like this. Well, except for the latest generation of Coyote, where they went to an offset. I think it's a belt-driven one, but it's an offset one now. But Ford's used this for a very long time, from whatever it was, 1993 up to 2022 or 23. Yeah, the same style of oil pump. It's been very cooked. It should not be this black in here. Yep. V8. Alright, I'm going to start cracking all of the main caps loose. So we've got a mixture of 10, 13, and 117. Okay. That's a pedestal for the pickup. There's also 13mm on the sides here. So you've got 4-bolt mains plus jack, they're called like jack studs or jack bolts, along the sides of the skirt. Oh, wow. Okay. So at Ford, this is kind of known as the oil filter assembly, or OFA. These are also 13mm. I know in some of the other models, like the GT350 and GT500, this gets way more elaborate. Like this big cooler unit, and it sticks out like out to here.
Cool how they've got the gasket all built in. One big gasket right there.
Oh yeah.
Makes it pretty easy. I'm sure there's probably some good kits for like oil, external oil coolers.
Yeah, I think there are like relocation kits and stuff.
It has the side bolts that go through into the main bearing caps.
Yep, they go through the skirts into it.
So.
And on the iron block, it's similar. It has these two big middle ones, the side skirt ones, but these smaller ones, these are just like a dowel pin with a shaft through it. They're called like the jack shaft or jack stud. You'll see when we take that one apart.
So is this considered a 6-bolt main?
Yeah, I guess 6-bolt main. Yeah.
It's a little bit different from like a K-Series Honda where this is all one unit, but it works pretty well. Just a lot of bolts to take loose.
So those are all the same length. Okay.
Interesting choice.
That's because of the main seal. It's back here. This whole thing comes off.
So you always want to have a good assortment of make smallers and make biggers. In this case, it's a 1/2 inch to 3/8 make smaller. Takes a lot of torque on some of these things. You might not be able to see it, but there is an orange dot on the front of each of these going towards the front of the engine.
Okay, Ford, another size. What are they? 11s? Yeah.
No shit.
Sure thing, Ford. Why not?
11 mils on your rod bolts.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, cool. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you know what you're doing.
Maybe. I swear, I watched YouTube videos on this. It's okay. I'm an expert now.
literally all we do is watch YouTube videos on stuff.
Look, I even got one of those fancy YouTuber dead blows, for taking engine stuff apart.
You gotta take the ick and HF icking.
Okay, that looks perfectly fine.
Nice, good condition.
I'm not reusing them, so I don't care, but it's piston 1 out.
How does it look? How's the...
I mean, the skirts, the coating's worn off, carbon buildup, the coating on the skirt's worn off. That slid out very easily.
Yeah, it's pretty standard wear.
And these are the broken caps, so they only go on one way.
Oh, those are fractured?
Yep.
Caps? Nice.
Yeah, we'll go through all the bearings later after we get these all off of there.
Yeah.
So that was number 1. Yep, first cylinder passenger bank.
Yep, so Fords are different than Chevys. So generally on like an LS or a small block engine, for General Motors, it's usually the driver's side is 1357, the passenger is 2468. On Fords, it's 1234 is what, the driver's side?
Passenger bank.
Passenger side, and 5678 is the driver's side. And that makes it real confusing with firing orders. Another piston out. What is that? Cylinder 2 or cylinder 5 or whatever? Just for reference, we don't need any of this stuff, right?
Yeah.
We are taking the crank from the 5.4, the block. None of this stuff is important. So
We'll probably get aftermarket rods.
yeah,
And definitely pistons.
he'll probably build it with some rods and pistons. But so this right here is just for fun.
Maybe a little bit of something went through this one. There's a groove there.
Yeah, there's a groove right in the middle. Those ones aren't bad.
Yep. Yeah, perfectly fine.
Yep, normal wear.
Yeah, that's fine. There's the thrust bearing.
There's a thrust bearing. It actually does have some wear.
This engine was clearly run hot and abused. So most of the rod bearings are fine. They're worn. A couple of them, like that one, and especially this one, definitely had something pass through them. Some debris. For the most part, they're just normal wear to them. Pistons and the rods are just cooked with varnish. Shouldn't look like that. The main bearings were mostly the same, worn. This one looked like it had something pass through it. Oil pump was also very cooked. I didn't really see anything on the inside. Yeah, just worn. Maybe it had some stuff pass through it. Look, there's some grooves in there. But, well, I'm not reusing that anyway. Alright, so I've gotten the cylinder heads completely taken down. I'd say overall, the cams, the cam caps, cam bearings, they all look pretty good. On the passenger side, there are some that had some wear, particularly this one right here. There's some grooves in the cam bearing, or there's some grooves in the cam. They catch my fingernail just a little bit. I don't think they're raised up. There's some wear on the other ones. I mean, they're just pretty worn cams, and like I said, only really this one looked like maybe it had some material come through. The bearing surfaces themselves still actually look pretty good. I'll probably go through and polish them up some, maybe some like high grit sandpaper or emery cloth or something. But I don't really see any, like, just in case there's any like raised parts, but I don't see any. There's nothing that really catches my fingernails except for that one journal. If I had to reuse these cams, I probably could. I'm going to try to find a set of Cobra cams, because new aftermarket ones from like Comp Cams are $1,600 for a set. Cobra ones would work fine. The driver's side definitely got less cooked. I wonder why the passenger side ran hotter, had more oil varnish. Now this one's, it's worn, but nothing here catches my fingernails, so it doesn't look too bad. Yeah, I got all the valves out. I don't think any of them were bent. I'll have to go through and make sure I clean out all the valve guides too. A couple of them were a little crunchy, but a lot of these, well, not these. Intake is fine. And a lot of these exhaust valves, they just have carbon buildup on them. I might reuse the valves. I'll have to look into how much new valves cost. They're probably fine, but if the new valves aren't too expensive, I'll pick up a set. We'll definitely get valve springs, lash adjusters, and roller finger followers. So these are the parts I was talking about. Of course, valve and valve spring, which gets pushed down on by a roller finger follower, and the lash is taken up by a lash adjuster. So this is not like a lifter and a rocker arm. This is what the cam, as it swings down, it hits this roller part up here, and that's what pushes down on the valve. Yes, I'll be replacing all of these. No point in reusing them. I mean, they feel fine. They all roll easily. What can happen is that the bearings in these can wear out or seize up, and then the cam will just grind down the top of one of these. So I'm gonna get all new pieces.